Okay, so first of all, I will tell you something about the radio server, what is it and how it's working. So we have a client, a simple device. Device want to get protected resources, maybe web or something else. He tried to mm, get authorization in this device, switch, and this is a client, this is a server.
Okay.
In this configuration. This server don't have a database with users profiles, so he ask a server that he know this profile, this profile have access to and this profile have access to protected resource.
Okay.
And this server becomes a client to this server. The server have database, and he decided give access or not. It's the main thing about radio server. Client authenticate in this server by his MAC address. This server authenticate this client, sending to the server username and password that it's a MAC address,
Okay.
both. And so I will show how it's done on MS Server. Okay, so I already installed required services, certificates, domain controller, and network access services. First of all, we need to add user. I add already two users with different MAC. It's important to add the same user as in the same format as our device sent it. I added in small letters, and divider is dash.
Okay.
Password and username is the same as I said before. Next step, we will configure our server, Radius server. He must be registered in Active Directory to get this user what I had before. So we add a Radius client. It is our Hyperion. We add his IP address and put a shared secret.
Okay.
If a shared secret or IP is wrong, we can't connect to server. This Radius client must be enabled so we can connect. We just take a standard Radius server. Okay. Next step is a net connection request policy. This describes that our conditions, what device can connect and what are not. I just add one condition that our client is Hyperion, but we can add more of that. We can specify what port can be authorized, what user, and etc. We can also, on this step, say that oh, I will show it later. In network policy, we say that this group, I don't say that. I add this user to a group, radius group.
Okay.
I can manually add different users there, but it's easier to make a one group. Say it and add to add there. So we create policy, add a radius group to use this policy, and says that they must, in first try, they must try to authenticate with APE tab method.
Okay.
We can add smart card or other certificate that we don't use in MAB, or secured password app MSCHAP. We add it. In pair, we must have a valid certificate on server side. It's used to generate keys and to generate protected TLS tunnel to make a secure connection. And PAB needs phase 2 authentication method, and I choose app MSCHAP V2. We can add this another one, but it's not on map authentication in our devices. So we added. In this moment, we decide how device must authenticate. If he doesn't have tab, he try another one. If he doesn't have this, he don't authenticate. We have tab, we have MSCHAP V2. So the NAS server is configured, and he can try to authorize some devices. Now we go to Hyperion. So we want to add this radius server. His IP is and we need to put this this secret where
the key that is
yes. Okay, next step is we enable this, and this where we format the MAC that we send to device. I use small letter with dash divider. And we want to, I will save this, and we want to authenticate device on port 26. he's shut down now. I will enable it when I configure our. So we should switch it to MAC-based authorization. We need to disable spanning tree on this port. So spanning tree ports port 26, save. Okay. Now we can try to authenticate this device. I will show how it's going on device side and the server side. Okay, the device is shut down already. On server side, I will run Wireshark to see what's happened. We need a radius protocol. Okay. Now we can run the device. That will try to authorize it. One thing yet. Okay. We will see that he's authorized. He sent 9 challenges and he get access success.
Okay.
Now we see, and we see this challenges and its success at the end. If the user wants, okay, I show once more. There is some viewer that sent that he show what's happened, and if user can't authorization or something else go wrong, he will show it. Okay, we will see that user is this Mac, this account, on this domain. We see that current station ID is Mac of our Hyperion, and this is the Mac of device that we device that want to have access. Next is NAS. This is the client in our topology, and it's in this moment this is our Hyperion. We see that this IP port, it's a Ethernet port, and number of port 40. So no idea why it's 40. In other devices it's the same like in configuration on Hyperion. Radius screen that we add before, it's Hyperion, it's IP. Next, we will have that it's connected, it's use test policy. We say that it's only condition that it must be Hyperion, and policy name, it's network policy name, it's we say that he must authorization with tab or mstrap, and he must be in Radius group to get access. We see that authentication type is PAP, and in phase 2, it's MS-SHA Fauda. In PAP phase 1, we create a tunnel. PAP phase 2, authorization, make authorization. And it's in Wireshark. We see first access request. He say what he is and what he wants. Next step, he wants to authorization with PAP. They exchange keys, and try to negotiate a phase 2 method, and he accept. Great. He always send access request because he just want to authenticate this device. Server says what be in next step. We see Radius server. It's not only for authentication user. He's using for accounting too, and we see that first account message was sent, and server says that he get it and it's okay. The main things of Radius, it's say already. We can try to change authentication method. Here you can say that it's only MS-SHA. Remove, and we try once again. Okay. He said that device is disconnected. And we connect again. We see that method is different. Challenges is only 2, and it succeeds. We see that it's only 2 challenges. And Beaver. You see? No, it's not. No. It's a MS-SHA. Okay. The main things about Radius I said already. This how to configure all server. I can show on these pages. This how to add the service to working server, and here it's to samo co powiedziałem.
Documentation? The same thing?
The same that I said already, and we see how to configure tab to work correctly.
Okay.
So insert certificate, get the correct one, and run.
Okay.
Have you any questions?
No, for now, no. For example, can you return to the part where you select type of certification?
Okay. Then let me this. There he is.
Which, okay, is this compatible with those two?
Yes.
Okay.
ID. And we take one of the valid certificates.
Okay.
We see expiration date. If certificate wasn't valid, we can't authorization.
Authorization. Okay. Okay.
I said about this field, we can override the settings in network policy if we specify a different client that he need to authorization in different ways.
Okay, it's possible.
It is possible to change it just for one device. In access request and challenges and accept, we can add more attributes like keys, names, or something else. We see these attributes here. We say that calling station identifier, it's something.
Okay.
We can add this on server side. On device, there is no possible.
Okay.
This attribute will this attributes you need in MACsec. It's you can add a username, or there is much more of this attribute.
Okay.
We need to enable it. Maybe here. Okay, so we need to know something more. You want to try it?
You have questions?
No number box 30. 30.
I don't know why it's 30. Hyperion says that it's
No. Ports 26 physical ports, yes.
Mhm.
And plus 4 ports 10 gigabits.
That's why it's 30? That's why it put 30.
Yes. 4 ports is first 4 ports, 10 gigabits and 32 max port. All 36. Yes. Yes. This port is 26 plus 4 ports 10 gigabits. Jak to jest niektóre?
some
Function with tylko in Hyperion, all Hyperions. Tak prezentuje porty.
show ports.
Show ports,
in
yes.
that way.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have any questions,